One of the themes we expect this year is a real focus on effectiveness of compliance. As regulatory complexity continues to grow, supervisors are looking not just at what organizations are doing, but also whether it's actually reducing risk. That means organizations need to show real outcomes, not just compliance effort. To meet expectations, firms are having to simplify and streamline controls and make sure that they're operationally prepared for things like new sanctions or emerging threats. It also requires a more strategic use of resources, putting focus where the risks are highest and making sure prevention and detection capabilities remain strong. In essence, the shift is being towards outcome-led, risk-driven, and compliance teams demonstrating that what they're doing genuinely makes the organization safer. Regulators are moving toward more outcome-focused expectations because traditional check-the-box rules aren't keeping up with the pace and sophistication of financial crime. Criminal techniques are evolving quickly, often taking advantage of weaker jurisdictions or financially vulnerable people. And that's pushing regulators to focus on real impact rather than the process. What they want now is evidence that controls actually work in practice, and in many cases are making moves to reduce complexity and make regulation easier to follow. In short, the direction of travel is toward outcomes that meaningfully reduce the risk, not just activity that looks good on paper. We are seeing a real shift towards regulatory frameworks that focus on meaningful outcomes rather than strict prescriptive rules. Policymakers are all moving in that direction because they want to see controls that are genuinely reducing risk in practice. At the same time, regulators are opening up how they engage with industry. They're encouraging quicker, more collaborative responses and providing more practical guidance to help firms apply these frameworks effectively. There is also a clear move toward more responsive, strategy-led compliance approaches. The changes at Companies House are a good example. It's been strengthened to better align with FATF expectations and deliver outcomes that have a real impact across the system. Together, these developments point to a more consistent and resilient approach to financial crime, with effectiveness at its core. For compliance teams, this shift is really about moving from activity to impact. It is no longer enough to show that policies exist or that processes have been followed. Teams need to demonstrate that what they're doing actually reduces the risk in practice. That puts much more emphasis on data-led insights and on continuous monitoring rather than old cycle of periodic checks. There is also stronger expectation to simplify and rationalize controls so they are efficient as well as effective. That means working much more closely with the business, making sure controls are embedded into day-to-day operations rather than sitting in the isolation. All of this requires more strategic use of resources and a sharper focus on the areas of greatest risks. And it also means being more forward-looking, understanding regulatory themes early and preparing for them, rather than responding after the fact.